We are in the middle of the Chanukah, third day of Chanukah. Therefore, today we talk about Chanukah. The Gemara asks, "My Chanukah? What's Chanukah? What's Yom Tov Chanukah?" Everybody has a good question. What's Chanukah? Everybody knows what's Pesach, what's Sukkah, what's Shavuot. But it's my Chanukah. And the Gemara talks about that, the Yevonim, they came, they go over, and they captured them, the Chashmonaim. They just found a pitcher of oil. Only one day, and there was a nest. A miracle happened for 8 days. Therefore, Gemara is relating the Yom Tov of Chanukah, that relationship of Yom Tov. Every Yom Tov is a relationship. That relationship came about through the nest of Shemen, 8 days. Now that's one source that we have for Chanukah. Then we have Al-Hanisim Al-Arpukan that we say in Shemon Esrei, in Birkat Hamazon. Now if you notice, it's unbelievable. We talk about Al-Hanisim Al-Arpukan, all of the miracles, all of the salvations, wonders that Hashem did for us, and all we talk about is the Milchama. And we are telling HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they were trying to make us forget the Torah and mitzvot. You, with your abundant merciness, you stood for them at the time of their suffering. You fought for them. You judged their judgment. You took revenge, their revenge. You gave over mighty one in the hand of the weak ones. Lot of people in the hand of few people. Urshayim bi'at tzadikim, wicked in the hand of righteous people. Tmeim bi'at tehorim, the temeim in the hand of tehorim. Vezedim bi'at osei toratecha, and this rishayim in the hand of the osei toratecha. And they made such a great salvation, ulamecha Israel, and finally they came and they therefore Al-Hanisim doesn't talk about the miracle of Shem. Very interesting. We have two sources. One source is Gemara. The Gemara says, my Chanukah. And the only thing that the Gemara talks about is Nes Shemen. And we have Al-Hanisim. And Al-Hanisim, the only thing that we talk about is the war. We don't talk about Nes of Shemen. Very interesting. Why? Maharal asks, why is it like that? How come here in the Gemara says, my Chanukah, we just talk about the miracle of the oil. And in Al-Hanisim, we don't talk about miracle of oil, we just talk about Milchama. Maharaj said, each one has its greatest chidush. Here, my Chanukah, al-Eiz the Nes, Rashi says, they were metaken Chanukah. Chanukah is the Yom Tov. Yom Tov is the right day of relationship, relating, right? Chatan, you have to make relationship and relating. Now, how does that happen? Really, the Gemara said that they could have used oil, which was contaminated, the oil that was tummy, they could have used it. Now, how come? Because Tuma Hutra Betzibur. If everybody is tummy, then they could use the oil which is tummy. But the Israel said that no, we want oil that's tahor. Or they could have made the wicks that they had 1/8 and use it till 8 days. But they didn't do that because they wanted to do the mitzvah properly. They went out of their way because they wanted to fight with Yavan. Yavan wanted us not to keep the mitzvah with tahara, with tuma. They said, we stop the tuma. They didn't want us to make the mitzvah in the best way. They said, no, we're going to do the best way. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu responded them with the oil. And Hashem, they went out of their way. Hashem went out of his way and made a nest for them. That's the relationship. Relationship is when you go out of your way, the other one goes and builds up the relationship. That's the Yom Tov. The essence of this Yom Tov is we are telling HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we don't want to become like the Greeks. We want the Tahara. We want to live in the Torah-tic life. And Hashem makes it possible. If it takes the nest miracle, it takes to manipulate anything around. That if the Halisrael, the one who wants to be tahor, HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes it possible. This is the mitzvah of Chanukah. Now, in Al-Hanisim, we give Hodah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We are thankful to Hashem. Now, what should we give thanks to Hashem? One could think, Milchama. They were Moser Nefesh. They They fought with the last blood that they had. Therefore, that they did. We should thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for miracle of the Nes. Pshemen. That Hashem did. Now we say, no. Nahal says, don't forget, even the Milchama, even the war, the greatest issue is the Milchama. Even though that they went and they fought and they did everything, but they came back and they say, Ata beracham echarabim, you did it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You did our judgment. You gave over the mighty one in the hand of the weak ones. This Huda is the real Huda. Once a person realizes that what happens in life is in the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the real Huda. And at the end, Al-Hanisim will say that that all they set up these 8 days that we should Halel and Huda. Somebody in Gadol says, Yemei Chanukah, what is it? What's the homework that we have? Everybody has to make a list of the things that he has to be thankful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to thank Hashem for whatever that happens, whatever that comes up. To give Huda, to give thank and Huda to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that is the highlight of Chanukah. I was reading the history of Antiochus, the wicked king that did all of these things. He was the general of the army, and when he was walking, all of the army made such a presentation for him, and everybody in front of him would feel nothing, zero, thousands and thousands of soldiers, army. The history says, at the end of his life, he fell from a carriage, whatever, and he becomes sick. And very end of his life, he becomes type of sickness that he smelled very badly. Nobody was able to go to him. Nobody. And he was left in, I think that they say that in one of the cities of Iran. He was left there alone, and he was about to die. Somebody who has thousands of soldiers to march for him, to give him the majesty of the kingdom, to be such a high authority, finally, the day of his life, he's laying down in his bed, and nobody is there. It smells so badly that nobody comes close to him. And the history book said that he said, at that time, I know why did God do that to me. Because I did terrible things to Jews. I did terrible acts to Jews. And Hashem is doing that to me. He told his advisors at the end of his life, Halel v'hodah. This is Hodah, this is a Halel, to understand the majesty of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to understand at the time that you have all of these soldiers and everything, it's not me that's making it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is making it. Once a person realizes that, acknowledge that, he keeps it. Somebody says, no, it's my power, it's my, I. Hashem says, okay, let me see. Hashem puts a person in a bed, nobody's around him. So let me see, what could you do? What do you have? What's the majesty? This is the point of Chanukah. Chanukah, he says, Halel v'hodah. Person has to make a list of whatever that he has in his life to give Hodah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to understand that whatever that we have in our life is from Hashem. Then Hashem Taka, once we think like that, Hashem lights our menorah, right? Hashem makes our life full of light and full of bracha and blessings, just like He did for our forefathers.